Okay, so let's talk about chemical weathering. It's kind of the same process, only instead of physical processes like freezing or salt crystallization or tree roots, for example, this is done chemically. But the result is kind of the same. It breaks apart the rock. It's just done by a different process. One of the most common ways is what called hydration, where the minerals in the rock break down because of the presence of water. There's very little chemical change, but it's just the fact that water is there. It becomes part of the chemical composition. Okay, here's an example in this Machu Picchu in the Andes Mountains, but this is an example of hydration. And we get this kind of spheroidal weathering, hydration and hydrolysis. So you can kind of see that spheroidal type of weathering through there. Okay, so the weathering attacks, in this case, here's, it's a cube of rock, if you will, and eventually the moisture, starts wearing down, the sides here of the cube, and eventually it'll go from, a regular looking cube down to the sphere. Again, due to the presence of water. Oxidation is another common form of chemical weathering where certain metallics combine with oxygen, and rust is a very good example of that. So you can see if there's iron in this, it combines with the moisture and we get the rust, and the rust eventually will erode the rock further and will dissolve into soils, for example. Carbonation, where we have water vapor dissolves the carbon dioxide, forming carbonic acid. And when you get those two together, it forms a solution and it will break down the material in the rock. So you can see this is a Grand Canyon area, but you can see these solution pits. Again, the carbon and the water vapor dissolves the carbon dioxide, so it forms this carbonic acid, and that eats away at the rock over time, and we get these pits. This is statuary, and this is due to acid rain, kind of the same thing. Okay, limestone. Okay, let me go back to this real quick. So again, it's kind of this acid where the acid gets the rain itself. The composition of the raindrops has changed because pollutants have been added to the water. It forms this kind of acidic moisture that then falls down, and it acts with building materials, in some cases limestone and marble, and will gradually eat it away. Okay, so that was physical weathering. Let's stop here, and then we'll do karst topography in part 3, or part 4, I should say.